Along Israel, where the Isupk Trinidad Street, New York, I'm in Jamaica, I'm President Selector. We begin today's service, we say, Martin, with Pakistan. By Israel, which means Israel. Imagine when the Padamas were as the east side, which was the two. See, you always bring the people. Now, Shabbat Dash, Ya, Shamka, Power, Wala Afka, Zah, Ya, Isha, Bakaras, Wa, Ya, Bashmaya, Matan, Banawa, Makam, Ka, Kum, Asalaku, Kawaku, Asalaku, Kawaku, Wala, Yanao, and the same one, Ba, Shine, Yum, Ra, Ya, Baka, Ra, Ba'al, Ra, Economic, in English, this says, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our debts. We forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. You see, Haka, the power, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Ubushai, come now, Haka, 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 is a right. Young, in English, it said, Lord, name of your shine. Please give us the power of the heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, or to cleanse the leper, or to raise the dead, or against unclean spirits, cast them off. In the name of your shine, thank you. And say, bless Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Now, Sha'ala, Hapiyah, Saharim, Barak, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, in the English, said, Lord, in the name of your Shai, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of your Shai, thank you. So here. Psalm 121 in Hebrew, Asha'ah, Ayam, Amharim, Ayam, Zari, Ayam, Power. Shash, Ayam, Abatas, Ayatan, Amabah, Gab, Ayatmo, Shamar, Na, I, and one, Ah, the Yeshem, Shamar, Yeshua, Awan, Shamar, Awan, Tazar, Ayam, Yamyanka, Yawama, Shamash, Ah, Ka, Ra, Alayal, Awan, Shamar, Kara, Yeshama, Aflashmuka, Awan, Yeshama, Wawaka, Sa, Wani, in English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, in my heaven. The Lord, which we have faith, that suffer affecting the moon, that the fever and the slumber, hope, that Israel should not sleep. What is thy keeper? What is shit I'm on right now? The sun shall not smite you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. This is for even forevermore. Say Psalm 83 in Hebrew. Alahaya, Al-Mayalaka, Al-Shafat, Al-Yamana, Al-Yamaka, Al-Yawan, Al-Shemiyah, Al-Awash, Al-Yamaka, Al-Yawan, Al-Sabah, Al-Tisiwa, Al-Tisiwan, Al-Maro, Al-Kaw, Al-Yakam, Gawya, Al-Akar, Al-Zakash, Al-Shahal, Al-Bar, Al-Yad, Al-Tisiwa, Al-Yakam, 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 Yashman, Aliyam, our Father, our Father, I'm one, Shah, I'm Yashati, War, Dam Ashawo, Amawa, Ma, Amawa, Amawa, Sla, Yashalaham, Mandim, Silasra, Yamna, Omka, Yashua, Chamalwa, one, Ra, Uwa, Man, Yasamu, Dalia, Uwa, Ra, Wakasahaba, Wakasahaba, Anasir Campo, Shah, Mara, Rasha, Mara, Mara, Alahayu, Alahayu, Shiyat Campo, Alakal, Wash, Wakadara, Ash, Abair, Air, Abba, Aha, Yam, Yam, Rama, Yam, Yam, Campo, Sa, Shankar, the power, the Vashu, the power, the father, the guide, the God, power, God, Iowa, Arga. English, we just said. Keep on the side of the world, one of thy peace, be not still over. Look, enemies begin to mock, they are hating. They can drop the counsel against our people, assault against the enemies. They have set power and stuff all from the nation. The name of Israel, the name of remembrance. They have assaulted together with 1%. They have conferred against the Eden, the Mishmans of Moab, and the Reeds. Wow, Haman, the team, the inhabitants of Tyre, the Syrians also joined with them, the folk of the tribe of Salah, wanted them as the immediate soon remember. We came out of the good. We get lower with art and sea. Yea, all the principles of God is moving. Set us before seven, possession. Oh my God, with them like a weed. Before the wind, the flames, the mountains on fire. So was the people with the tempest. Pray for the storm. Feel their face with shame on the sea. Then we come form it up. When we put the shade, perish. Then we know, go. The power is high. Let's say ISUPK process. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of the land, all things living. Power, name of Yahweh. Listen to us now, right now. Evils and curses, punishment, and destruction. To the heathen. Speak against us, like prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, Israelite brothers, and the school. The evils and curses, punishment, and destruction. To the heathen. To loose the treasure of the rich of Israel. Give the school. Towards their riches, and then to their sanctuary. The evils and curses, the punishment and destruction. To the Edomites, the nation, the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all of the governmental enemies, military organizations, the Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, cross clan, area nation, skinheads, the gay, lesbian, spies, because of witchcraft, NASA space program, army, navy, air force, marines, warship, of the internet and the airwaves, the Balasas channels and the radio channels. Bring the spirit, any of thy people that seek the stars, bring certain destruction to all the heathen standing in the way for trying to stop us from casting words. Let loose all the plagues, for them to do to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague through the house of Eve and the murderer, Yahweh, Michael, Gabriel, and with the flying saucer, which all the heathen against us and to speak the word, but to be known by all the angels that have done, but to be spread through the media for the word, but from the shape of the come, name of our child. So, 2. Chapter which was 2. Then today, as we go into the scriptures, we will be again going into the history, the culture of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, so that we will be able to get the understanding of what took place then and how we are supposed to function now. Let's go back. Right, so today we're going to continue in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6. Continuing from verse 11. See. And we'll start this in the Hebrew. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 11. In the Hebrew. Yam, Malayam, Ka, Tawab, Ashal, La'a, Ma'af, Waba'araf, Kataza, Wabayam, Ashal, La'a, Katazabaf, Karayam, Wazayatham, Ashal, La'a, Ata'aitha, Wa'akala, Washaba, verse 12. Ashama, Laka, Man, Tabakaka, Yahweh, Ashar, Awatazaya, Awaka, Ma'aratazar, Matazari, Mabayath, Ibadiah. Verse 13. Yahweh, Alahayaka, Athayara, Wa'athawa, Ta'aiba, Ta'ibada, Wabashamaya, Mawa, Tashaba'ai, verse 14. La'a, Talakalawa, Akariya, Alahaya, Akawayam, Ma'alayam, Na'aimayam, Ashar, Sabayabawa Fiyakam, 16. Ya Allah, Pana'a Yahawa, Alahayaka, Wakarakaba, Ban, Yakara, Apa Yahawa, Alayahayaka, Baka, Wahashamaya, Ma'ayla, Anya, Adam, 16. La'a, Tanasawa, Yahawa, Alahayaka, Asha, Nasayatham, Masa, 17. Shamawa, Tashamarawan, Atazawa, Yahawa, Alahayakam, Wa'aitada, Yawa, Wakazayawa, Ashar, Tazawaha, in English, book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 11. And houses full of goods, of all the good things, of all the good things which thou fillest not, and wells digged, which thou diggest not, vineyards and olives, which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware lest thou forget the Lord which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other gods, of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from the face of the earth. Ye shall not tempt the Lord your God, as ye tempted him in Massah. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God, and his testimonies, and his statutes, which had commanded thee. Once we continue again in Hebrew. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 18. Wa'aishayath, Ayashara, Wahatawab, Wa'ayanaya, Yahaw, Wa'aina, Yahayata, Laka, Waba'atha, Wayarashaf, Ha'arataza, Ataba, Ashar, Nashabai, Yahawa, La'abath Yaka, verse 19. Lahadak, Kal, Ayabayaka, Mapaniaka, Ka'ashar, Ba, Yahawa, verse 20. Ayah, Yasha Allah ka Banaka Makara Lahama Maha Aida Wahaka Oyam Wahama Shapath Yakaya Asha Tazawa Yahawa Alahayanawa Athamaka 21 Amarath Rabani Wanbanaka Ibadayim Haya Yanawa Parai Wamatazarium Wayatazayana Awa Yahawa Wamatazarium Wayad Kazahwa is 22 Wayatam Yahawa Awathatha Wamapath Yom Gadalayim Wara'ayim Wamatazarium Wamapara'ay Wabakal Wayathawa Aliyah Nayanawa is 23 Wa'awath Nawa Ayawat Za'aya Mashan Lama'aina Abaya Atanawa Latata Lanawa Af Awat Za Shah Nashaba'ai La'abath Yanawa 24 Wayatazawanawa Yahawa La'aishanawa Af Ka Akakwayim Ka'alaha La Yara'atha Yahawa Alahayanawa Katawaba Lanawa Ka Ayamayim Lakhaya Tana Kahayawa Azaha in English the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 18. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to cast out all thy enemies from before thee, as the Lord hath spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, say, what meaneth the testimonies, the statutes, and judgments which the Lord our God hath commanded you? Then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before thee. And brought us out from thence, he might bring us to give us the land. And the Lord commanded us all these statutes, to fear the Lord our God always, that he may preserve us alive as at this day. So here we see in the Most High just laying on the laws, statutes, and commandments, giving us a reminder. You understand, that reminder that when we go into this land and we see the good land, don't forget what the Lord brought us through and brought us to that position. To get so comfortable that we forget what the Lord did and instead of follow other gods, understand roundabout, instead of the other things contrary to what the Most High gave us and told us to do. So like that's all we had to do to understand for Blacks, Hispanics, and the Indians, that what we had to do is just do what the Most High tell us to do. Understand? Plain and simple, and not difficult and not hard. You understand? We are the ones who want to drift off and go off to everything else than what the Lord tell us to do. Understand? And that usually what creates the consequences, understand, for what taking place. Right? Let's please state your name and by registry.
Tazo, one Banyam Banyashal.
Tazo Wo, one Banyam Banyashal. All right, continuing from in the Hebrew, but Deuteronomy chapter 6. So, yeah, as opposed to
Did I get any problem with connection this morning?
no, I'll off my.
Yeah, okay. She's to load up to see about the next introduction video. Right, 6 and 25, right? Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 25 in the Hebrew. What is that? The bar, the hayah, the nawar, kalkaya, the shema, the ay, shawah, tal, the matasawa, azar, azar, salam, the panya, Yahweh, Allah, Ayanawa, Allah Ayanawa, the Ashar, that's the one the Sa, Banawa, Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 1, Ya, Yaba, Yaaka, Yahweh, Allah Hayaka, Al, Aaron, Salapia, Aratasa, Asha, Ata, Ba'a, Shema, Lavra, Shata, Bana, Banashala, Babayam, Papanyaka, Ataya, Waha, Dobra, Yashaya, Waha, Amarawa, Amaraya, Waha, Anai, Naya, Waha, Arazawa, Arazaya, Waha, Kawaya, Waha, Yaba, Asaya, Sheba Aiha, Kawa, Kawasham, Kamayam, Ba'ai, Tasawana, Tasawama, Yam, Mamaka, Tasu, Pana, Tanam, Yahweh, Lahayaka, Lapanyaka, Waha, Kayatam, Takaram, Takarayam, Atam, Ta'a, Taka, Takara, Laham, Baraya, Wala'a, Takanam, Bustri, Wala'a, Tata, Tatan, Bama, Pataka, La'a, Tatana, Tabanawa, Baba, Tawa, La'a, Takak, Laba, Lamba, Naka, Uspo, Ya, Yesaya, Ah, Manaka, Ma'a, Korea, Ba'ai, Badawa, Allah, Allah, Allahayim, Akariyam, Waka, Wakara, Apa, Yahweh, Wakam, Waha, Shamayada, Shamadaya. Waha, Shamayada, Maha, Puspai, Ya, Slaki Ama, Laha, Ai, Shawa, Laham, Mazza, Bakata, Yaham, Tata, Zawa, Ama, Sabatam, Tasha, Barawa, Ba'a, Shayaham, Taga, the I one, Papa, Saya, Tayaham, Tasha, Rapawan, Ba'amash, Ba'asha, yeah, and Nadia, and verse 5. In Hebrew, Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 25 in English. Slap that around. Verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness. As our noble slay and the our noble slap, our noble seven edition. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Kaya, Ima, slap the eye. For the wash, Ata, La Yahweh, Allahayaka, Baka, Yahweh, Allahayaka, Laha, Yawa, Lawa, Na'imam, Sagala, Makal, Ai, Ayam, Asha, Ai, Wanya, A'a, the Ma, right? And then in Hebrew, Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 25 in English, and it shall be our righteousness. And we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High God, as He hath commanded us. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. When the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto thy son, unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against thee, and destroy thee suddenly. Verse 5. But thus shall he deal with them. He shall destroy their altars, and bring down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. Verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That is like a stalwart scripture of Black Hispanics and Native Indians, where the Most High gave us some very specific questions, right? And some instructions that would that every Black Hispanic and Native Indian should follow, because it's given us a great, you understand, blueprint how to deal with the other nations, right? You see, as we can see currently in society, you're seeing a great upheaval. You understand how relations or relationships are, right? Are we going to see the nature of a lot of these nations? You understand? And because of Black society and Native Indians going to see the nature of them, you understand, too long we have been hiding or fooling ourselves that this is not how they are, this is not how they respond. But now, because of the climate has changed, we see now everything is just really coming up. All the nations in the face of the they're actually going to see the real character of who they are. So this is where Black society and Native Indians have to learn. Understand from these examples.
Most definitely, if I could, right? And for far too long, they have been making this big hullabaloo, like you're doing some off, you know what I mean? What all agreement, idols and images and all of that help in any way, shape, or form? God is not a wicked man. God is not something wrong, not some does. When God say, hey, I make all the understand about people because by the ways, you see what you say, a man low mind, and he has some low ways. That's the other nations and all the ways and them and all the they have low mind thinking. But you want to fight against things that is good for the society. That is why God said to destroy it, and now you want to go and lock up the ball. When you say these things to them, because now you get your feelings hurt, but if people doing the things to them that was they then what he's saying, you understand, whatever that's really should be treated like a madman, ignore him. You know, say this guy needs a psychiatric evaluation. He says, please take this vagabond off the streets. Because we're talking this garbage. But no, you understand, you're so want to hold on to your garbage, your foolery, you understand? And now you continue to destroy your people. You're destroying your own society. Look what Jeffrey Epstein is doing. Yep. That is a child don't have the form and shape of an adult to have any type of intercourse with a relationship. How stupid you can be again. These fellas and them is not the mind's not they're not thinking not thinking right, not thinking correctly. All the marbles in that bag shaking up because I'll go to so that when the Lord give a command, he say, hey, I don't want you to take their daughters, you understand, your sons, and to take, you understand, to give your sons unto their daughters and take, you understand, your daughters unto, you know what I mean? Because I don't know that this stuff RMS, these people and them believe in garbage. Yeah. These people, the Lord say, hey, I take you out of these people that was bigger and mightier than yours. Like today, they have all the resources, they have all the power and control and place in shambles. Right. People care, you have so much resources to straight out almost close. Take all so you have no type of common sense to move like a regular person, right? Which means you lack that capacity as a so-called human being because you're operating like a beast.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Most of the see where there's a lack of values, morals,
yes,
and just raw decency.
Correct.
To function in a capacity. Most High, through the children of Israel, that these laws that are not set in the world,
Right.
escape.
Correct.
Absolutely. Eat what I want.
Correct.
Have sex what I want. No bad.
And the thing is this, if you even let me say that we wanted to if you're saying that because we misogynistic then, and we want to control the ability to make decisions. When you have no control over your decisions, what you're going to do?
It's also true.
Is the result showing? You understand? Should not big time. Not one thing to do properly. The leader of the free world is a complete idiot. But you want to fight against that because the demons and them don't want you, understand? The demons don't want you to live. They want you smoking narcotics, cigarettes, you understand? All the type of substance abuse on the planet.
Everything against West.
Correct. No only that they keep completely corrupting your life's life. What the Lord stands for is incorruption. It's things that are pure, things that are right, things that are just, things that's to do. But now you want to fight against that because you understand you don't have the capacity to operate at a right thinking person's level. Majority of the heathens are there. Some of the heathens would say that's what they used to say in Deuteronomy 4 before. Right? Hey, these are wise and understanding people that have some structure, that have some laws, that have some guidance. What I have seen that as wise as this, and that was thousands of years ago. We talking about things modernized into absolute garbage because before they were saying in the old ways were working so well. And it was so appreciated and so dignified and so sarcastic, sagacity, I know like a gentleman I'm going to say they were so sophisticated and well done. And now modern day time they follow is absolute garbage because the modern day leaders of society is just out of control. They're out of out of accordance to what this actually was. And if they were smart enough, they would have gone back to Solomon time and seen Queen of Sheba going to ask Solomon. Like today, they're supposed to be asking Commander General Yana, with all due respect, sir, can I have your mercy and your grace and your wisdom? I know you have vast amounts of it, and I've seen you turn what people have written off and call of no effect and have no value. You have changed it into the most glorious thing on the planet. I'm asking some who running out that sits. They put it on garment. Nobody who running down, you understand, black culture. Chinese culture and all them things that influence the society. Nobody is doing it. If you look at every school, every pants now is printed, you see these things that I mean. Yeah. You feel it's all in your handbags, everything, Montclair jackets, $5,000, $10,000. You want it down. This is what came from the society. But all they want some of it and the look, but you don't want the effectiveness of it. And I don't understand why you wouldn't. You understand? Why would you destroy yourself so much into going to that level of generosity?
When you look at how blacks respond to Indian culture,
Right.
look at these scriptures in every facet, from the medical, the historic, the culture, to law, have been taken from these scriptures.
That's right.
I think that how strong and powerful our nation, the children of Israel, is by just having these laws. Because these are the nation using what we have, to guide them.
Yeah.
That's why the Most High said, look, if we keep and do what we're supposed to do, these are the nations will see this.
Right, correct. Yeah. So that is a very telling thing. So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The pinching of every little because they can't understand it. That is why they can't implement it. They don't have that, but they don't have that capacity for compassion. A leader, is going to really think about how I want the society to really function. I'm going to go to the lengths and depths that take. But they're not on that. They're on feelings, as the officer does not say that's not it. They're going towards what they want, and what they want is garbage, and what they feel like eating, and what they feel like doing, which is absolute rubbish. There's good thing, this tastes very good. The other tastes real amazing. Chicken and all that is because you're not following after the template that the Most High gave, and when no, because we dropped the ball, which is our fault. You understand? We have some fault there, but you all know when you all have to so-called correct, there's abuse happening.
That's right.
You understand? The Lord say, all right, yeah, I gave my children over, as a lesson. In other words, go out of my house and see how things are outside. Now, when we in all their hands now, so-called white people, so-called Chinese people, so-called East Indian people, so-called all the can't don't stop abuse people. That is all the way and nature. That is the culture. That is what you all want to continue to push on the planet. The hell know what that. And that is why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to recognize. You have to definitely, as the scripture said, take back the kingdom, take back the responsibility and ownership, and position yourself back into where the society needs us to be. Because without that, you have seen how deep you have no roots. Family and I.
We will continue reading in Hebrew.
Right? The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 7. La'ah, Marabakam, Makal, Aymayam, Ashak, Yahweh, Bakam, Baya, Bakar, Bakam, Aya, Atham, Ma'aita, Makal, Aymayam, verse 8, Kaya, Ma'ahaba, Yahweh, Akakam, Wama, Shamarawa, Asha, Ba'aiha, Asha, Nashabai, La'a, Batayakam, Awa, Azaya'a, Yahweh, Akakam, Mayad, Zakah, Maya, Madak, Mabaya, Aiba, Tayam, Maya, Ra'aiha, Malak, Madazari, verse 9, Maya, Aita, Maya, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Awa'a, A'a, Lahayam, Amna, Shema, Abba, Raya, Waha, Asad, Ta'a, Abayawa, Allah, Samaria, Matasa, Mata, Matawa, La'a, Lapa, Dawa'a, Rasted, Amma, Shalom, Lasha, Na'ayawa, Al, Panyawa, La'a, Abayadawa, La'a, Ya'a, Ya'aka, Shana, Awa, Al, Panyawa, Yashalam, Lawa, Islam, Pasha, Barak, Amma, Isawa, Wata, Aka, Koryam, Wata, Amma, Shapatayam, Asha, Anaka Wakaya, Matazawa, Ayawam, La'ay, Shawa, Shawatam, Salam. Verse 12. Baha Yaha, Aikaba, Kasha, Ma'aywan, Amar, Sabbatayam, Allah, Washa, Maratam, Ma'ay, Sayatam, Atam, Washama, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Aka, Abarayatam, Salaki, Abbar, Payak, Waka, Kasad, Ashar, Lishabal, La'a, Pataya, Vistuti, Wa'a, Abaka, Waba, Bakaka, Baha, Babak, Barak, Pariya, Patanak, Papariya, Adda, Mata, Daga, Daganak, Pata, Yarashak, Paya, Za, Arak, Shagar, Alapaya, Ai, Shasharat, Shasarat, is a anak, I, the ma, Asha, the Shabai, La, Bataya, Laka, Laka, was 14. Barak, Barawak, Taha, Yaha, Makal, Ai, Mayam, La'a, Yaha, Aikwa, Ai, Torah, Abba, Bahama, Kata, was 15. Baha, Saya, Yahweh, Amaka, Kal, Kalaya, Makal, Madawaya, Matazaria, Ara, Ayam, Asha, Yada'aita, La'a, Yasha, Yamama, Baka, Bana, Tanam, Bakal, Bana, Iraq, Ayak, Slaki. Verse 16. Ba'a, Kalam, Kal, Mayam, Asha, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Tatan, Laka, La'a, Lakawasa, Ayanak, Ayla Yaham, Wala'a, Ta'aibada, Salatin, Ta'aibada, Alahaya, Alahaya, Kaya, Mawa, Mawakwa, Mawakash, Mawakasha, Salatin, Awa'a, Maka, verse 17, Aya, Ta'ama, Allah, Babaka, Abayam, Aga, Ayam, Allah, Amanaya, Ayaka, Awakal, Laha, Oyam, Oyasuk, 18, La'a, Tayara'a, Maham, Saka, Tazaka, Asha, Aisha, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Lapa, La'aiha, Walakal, Madazarian, verse 19, Amasa, Agar, Balak, Asha, Ra'awa, Aya, Nayak, Baha, Atata, Baha, Matayam, Wahayan, Aka, Saka, Zakwa, Baha, Sura'ai, Adna, Tawayam, Tawaya, Asha, Awa, Tazayaka, Yahweh, Allah, Ayak, Khan, Aisha, Yahweh, Allah, Allahayaka, Lakal, Aymayam, Asha, Ata, Ira'a, Mapan Yaham, and then you read it in Hebrew, if you read chapter 7 in English, the Lord did not send his slavery. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because you were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, that the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repay them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hated him. He will repay him to his face. Verse 11. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers. Verse 13. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb and the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine and thine oil, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. Verse 14. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. Verse 15. And the Most High will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. 16. And thou shalt consume all the people which the Most High thy God shall deliver thee. Thine eye shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto thee. 17. If thou shalt say in thine heart, these nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? Verse 18. Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shalt well remember what the Lord thy God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt. Verse 19. The great temptations which thine eyes saw, and the signs, and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby the Lord thy God brought thee out, so shall the Lord thy God do unto all the people of whom thou art afraid. Verse 20. Moreover, the Lord thy God will send the hornet among them, until they are left, until they that are left and hide themselves from thee be destroyed. Right? Yeah, very good.
Again, you see, this is where Black Hispanics and Native Americans have been able to understand what the Most High well, because it's laid out. It's not, it's as any parent or guardian who has children and their kid. When you have a household, there are rules and laws stated for what? To guide, protect those in the household. Anyone who has a family understands. If you go outside these rules, guess what? Consequences. The reason for that is because why? Out there is a dangerous place. Dangerous place for Blacks, Hispanics, and Latinos. These other nations don't fight it. You have rules, you have conscience, and for what the morals that you have, some they will come close to. And because of that, you are vulnerable. Most times, we would act and respond in a way that, okay, this is how I would treat this person if I was in this position. The problem is, these other nations doing things like that. When you say now, I can't do that, it's not, can't do that child, that, can't do that man, that. The other side, that's a normal thing to do. That treachery, that that degenerate behavior, normal part of the justice. It's almost animalistic. So yeah, these are the things that Black Hispanics and the people have to be aware of. That your culture and your values are different from these other nations' culture. This is why the Most High told us not to what? Intermarry. The reason being is because we understood what will take place. Because they are degenerate, you will become degenerate. Following their customs and the laws. So, if a Black Hispanic and Native American one nation, guess what? We quote unquote compromise. Because they'll be eating certain type of foods and things. Part of our laws is not eat pork, crab, or but when you marry somebody from a nation and eating pork, crab, and lobster, and shrimp, and animals that are clean, is part of their culture. They eating it, and you said you're not eating it. Eventually, over time, because of your relationship and association, guess what will happen? So you tend to give in.
Yes.
Those type of things. No, I'm just doing this because sooner or later you get worn down. then the defile us. And the Lord
The family, right? Because it's a normal thing for them. So now they say that, look, I ain't dying. That's not meant to be. You know? What you talking about? We just trying to think now. Trying to think now. We talking about, oh, she's a petite. And that's what they want to see. But I don't see what wrong with this.
Right.
Or remember, she might, this is something that she accustomed doing. But the same man, you understand? And especially with that man. Oh, man. Oh, God, it's worse. Because now the woman, according to God, her desire should be to her husband. So that is the straight thing. Our desire is to be more side than you get to balance. You put a straight up with. That is automatic. So she come in and do everything that man sees. Just to please you, understand? So it's all kind of different angles, compromise, all kind of thing. We call it. You put so many food. She's saying, well, I do this because they go, I make a stuff, but because she do have a son. She doesn't see nothing wrong with it. See, the woman now with the man, she doesn't see nothing wrong with it. So now she put so many food now, and it tastes, hey, how you find that place? I find the he and the her, the he, you understand? That piece is real good. We eat this thing. This is real good. Yeah, Jira, don't mind me. Say, wait, thinking. Wait. And put that in your food normally, you eat the food, and then, you know what I mean? Ooh, this thing is real good. Look at this. Put that on some real thing. It's spicy, it's like that. Go on in normal, the fire, and you go now, your protection, go on. You understand? It's not a breakdown in your body because now the Lord, how you operate in a certain way, they like vagrant. So the side of the relationship, so when them eat on the side of the relationship, normal, they start getting immune. It's the thing now, don't feel the body will fall apart. You understand? But because you fine tune that certain diet, it will affect your body so much faster. Anybody will try, right? And we talk about hungry foods here, talk about just eating fast. So, and your body will go into shock if it's a kill and that kind of thing. The body will shut and you feel sick. Ask anybody do that and just make a sudden transition. Because like you may have a member that's strictly see that. When you visit them, like nobody is so by the time you take that now, your body is going to give you different thing. I want that. It's foreign. Same thing is going to happen. Just because you get the seed now and feel, you know what I mean? Hey, yeah, boy, not there. I just try to see, you know, I want to know. No, there is a child behavior. It wasn't a child like state. You want to see, so the children just put their hand by fire, but they don't know it's burning.
Any results?
That's who I need. You might lose your finger. Lose your life, you understand? You're going to lose protection for the same nice small thing. But let's try to do a little carnival, a little small, a little. What is that doing? That thing, though, we know that it's inanimate objects, you know that. Right? They can't do nothing, nobody is. But now, when you start to get into that mix, you know, look for what we you don't know who he is. You call yourself a fiber, they will call you children. Imagine that. This the idea that formula. And you will let so dear children. So they go there, simple shot, Chinese.
Name my own.
I'm a person. He named the land and he made the land. He manifests destiny on the land. That's my one, that's my land. You call yourself after me. Let's go to India. Let's go. You know, nothing is wrong with play that. He just gets at all. He just running wild. Like a chick or like an animal. That's in a field and he just get loose. You know what I mean? He chains and mops. No, he outside. Bad. Naked, all kind of thing. You can't ball. A man naked. You all that naked, this thing, even up sharp. You understand? Some LGBTQ man, some soft man. It's going to come out in a sack. You understand? Almost close to a sack. And these fellas don't understand it. They don't understand the reason for that not being so. That is why PDFs are running rampant now.
Right.
Because when adults do it now, well, yeah, I know people that child because they take away decency, they take away the dignity of having the nakedness covered. It's not a shame, you know, it's not a breakdown levels of security and the deviants and them could introduce themselves in and we're going to say infiltrate our society and infiltrate your home and infiltrate your communities and abuse your children. That is how it is happening. You ain't see nothing wrong, you adult, you beg, you feel big. And outside and thing, and I wear nice and sexy. But what did the homeless man inside the street get? I never seen the woman. I think I videos I was them on the YouTube and the TikTok. So I think I video last time. I see it, yeah. A woman, which woman? And she right mind and say, boy, look at that homeless street dollar man. He looking sexy, he see that. Here he barely have a clothes. But you know, the person telling you now, you understand? Your footprint out and your crotch showing, you understand? You realize, then you realize, okay now. Upside wrong, see down, something is that. What's going on with your yeah. And then when you say, come yourself here, you're not seeing yourself as a street dollar, you're not seeing yourself out of your mind, and that's what it is, you're out of your mind. By your clothes, and your present clothes.
Yes, so you're seeing, when you say throw heavy because you're seeing where the lack,
yeah,
the degenerate type behavior, yeah, starting to erode and come into our families. Yeah. But when the so-called oppressor, so-called white man, push these philosophies, push these ideologies, yeah, and they seep into our families through social media and all the other aspects of the nation. They see the systematic breakdown values of Black's example.
Alex, we feel just, we try to be, they call it Perman Papa. Perman Papa is the right thing to do, is the sensitive thing to do.
That's right.
Perman Papa doesn't mean that they are no flavor. All of a sudden, all the ability to be, a little bit humorous and more warm to people. That don't mean you turn cool and there's an icicle. That don't mean that.
That is where they become blurry lines.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to community.
Yeah.
They think, okay, right, revealing more.
Yeah.
It's in our culture, the more dainty you are,
yeah,
the more covered you are.
Correct.
It exudes a sense of femininity,
correct,
and strength.
Yes.
And it's different from what the attire of our heart.
Correct.
That is how an attire in our culture.
Correct.
What they're doing is showing less is their attire.
I'm asking something now. And it's how much what they say is what it was. What I can see.
Yeah.
A harlot have no value. No, everybody does abuse a harlot. Everybody does have get a piece of that anytime. You can walk into the kid, what's his name? But Maraj Jewelers. And this is one that there's advertised on TV now. But they're marrying and all them thing on them US thing and you can walk into K's or whatever it is, see her jewelry, and they say, I like to see a most expensive diamond. You can't do that. You talk about value. Value does be hide up, value does be covered, value does be protected. Value will be exposed to everybody, and understand that get a sample like taste and touch. That is no value. And not thief in our wine, nothing wrong with thief in our wine. Yeah, just know that you have no value and no protection coming there. But that's how they just make yourself, you understand, easy to target and easy to abuse. Because we're talking about, we talking about respect, we want more respect you want. But bring a little global yourself out there, we abuse there. That's the way as a nation to them. Because now what they used to do, that is the culture, all in your Caucasus Mountains and all that time. And the Sabian wise and this was running to grab somebody's daughter and abuse them and don't want to call them wife. You ain't get a permission to touch their according to the scriptures when you do that to a woman, which is raping them. The death penalty is not coming for you. Yeah, you only make the day. That's a normal thing. A man walking and a black man feet gets slapped a woman. That is my thing. That's a law. The law is called assault. That's sexual assault. You know,
things like that. These things are
that's it.
This is what the oppressors are not correct.
Yes.
Just like example using the quote unquote gang culture.
Yes.
The real gang culture is what the mobs. That's not the other phones, all the
Russian mobs,
and Blacks is for instance, that's what looking at these things here, because when you look at all these type of institutions and gangs and stuff, these were revered gangs.
Correct.
Now the Godfathers.
Yeah.
Now Moraine.
Correct.
All these are things that were pushed up as and in movies, Goodfellas, and all the different things. All these were shown as these what they need to aspire to make it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I would push as American culture, world culture, European culture. And these gangsters and mobsters, huh? These gangsters and mobsters, and these are the things that are pushed. Guess what? Because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they have stripped our culture and our heritage.
Right.
Guess what? Guess what they're going to show?
Yeah.
But when they see these guys in corruption, quote unquote, making it big,
Yeah.
guess what? They try the same thing. And these are things that we learn from the oppressor. And these are things that we're not supposed to do. That is why we have these laws that we come and say, to be able to guide us away from these things that we do.
Spot on. Right? And if I may add back to what it is the same there, add on, right? But man, in all in society, as long as you know yourself, for the last 400 years, black Hispanics have known this God. When you look at the Bible, that is not it. But this is the God, you understand? This is the God. I think this is the God that love all them upset. Love all them pedophiles in them, love all them sexual deviants in them, love all this corruption. I said, when you look in the Bible, that this figure is not it. That's not written in Revelation chapter 1, verses 13 to 15. That's not written in Daniel chapter 5, chapter 10, verses 5 to 6. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. That is not it. Jeremiah 15 and 2, that's not it. Prophets of God black. Black culture, understand, is righteousness. Black culture is sarcastic. Black culture is sophistication, dignity.
That's right.
Respect and honor. Understand law. We call it consideration. That's black culture. White culture is do as thou wilt. Be destructive. Be chaotic. You understand what I say? We call it order out of chaos. That is one of the rules of white culture. And because they're in charge of the resources, they have control of the resources because we didn't respect and honor and appreciate it. Black culture is why they push that and why they have the control of the resources and paint the picture of this is how to be. And it's because out of fear, you do this as before when you was leaving Egypt. They were fear that they couldn't get leeks of onions. You thought he was going to stop. The Lord said, I'm going to bring you into a land of milk and honey. You didn't consider that. You didn't have that to the forefront of your mind because all he was doing is operated out of fear. Perfect love casts out all fear. And that's how blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are supposed to be. We're supposed to fear God because we know without his protection, without his guidance, we will get destroyed. We will be abused. We will be marginalized. We will be corrupted. We will be taken advantage of. Understand? We will be shameless. We will be poor, homeless, out of our minds on drugs, putting the stigma or be stigmatized as the problem society. And we know that we didn't have the ability to push these things and formulate these infrastructures for all these social problems and gang culture and warfare to happen. That is not the case. It's because of fear you wouldn't even want to agree with what we're saying, but you know behind closed doors it is the truth. It is the absolute truth. And because now you have been so disconnected from your power, you're operating in so much fear that you're afraid to go pick back up the mantle now or pick back up your responsibility in society that will actually get us to solve all of these issues in the first place. It's just fear. This is what is this push. And guess what? Thank you, Christian pastor and your imam leaders and your religious leaders for that because they're not going against this. They in the parliament arguing back and forth and playing the fool, nurturing all the time, and they're not on the program. It's because of that. They follow you can't move any way forward, and now you're thinking some way, somehow, things will change, and over time. Because times will change with you if you decide to do something different. But as the officer now said this story, that is not their mode of operation. That's not how they operate. There's no conscience, there's no law, there's no values. It's just the power. It's just, you understand, it was done job. You understand? It's like a cage. And it's just, a fight to the end. May call it a royal rumble. But just at that much. And that's how it is operating, not like that. Because you could operate that way if you had some common sense. Because you're animal, and they're thinking from that perspective, there's no form of common sense or no form of thinking involved in the day-to-day decision making. Yeah? So they are now like planet focus of the eating planet. You understand? Like the white man that push on that only the socks. The police take up and put past the goods on, alligators and all that. They have the rule and function. what it is, what you get and all that. Look, we weigh animals, certain things and all of that. But when the animal, we call it pass on the skin, is because we eat the animal and we make good use of it. You can't eat snake. You understand? And when you put on a snake skin, remember they say they pull all kind of things. Snake is not to eat, but plus when you do that now, you're not making good use of the animal.
Right.
In the first place, that's what the Lord showing us wisdom. What you can use when you eat a buffalo, you eat an oxen, you eat a cow, you eat a goat. You can use the skin to actually for multiple uses.
That's right.
You can do that rhinoceros. We're going to do it with the horn and an elephant. We're going to do the tusk. Come on, man.
I mean, as I say, because you understand these laws,
Correct.
right? Right. Yes. So I think we have two more. Can you read one with English?
Right. Stop from this 20. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 21. The R, the I, Ratazah, the Pa, the Yaham, the Yah, Yahweh, Alahayata, the Barabah, Al, the Da, Allah, the Na, the Ra'ah, verse 22, the Na, Shalah, Yahweh, Alahayata, Ah, Ada, Wayam, Salam, Allah, Mapa, Mayaka, Ma'aita, La'a, Tawa, Tabla, Kalatam, Maha, Fun, Taraba, Ayla Yaka, Kayak, Ashada, verse 23. Right? Wana, Tanam, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Lapanyaka, Waha, Mama, Mahawa, Maha, Mama, Kadala, Ai, Asha, Madam, verse 24. Nathan, Wanathan, Slaki, Mala, Kayaham, Kayadak, Waha, Abada, Ah, Shamama, Mata, Mataka, Asha, Mayim, Ta'a, Ya, Tazaba, Ayash, Papa, Nayak, Ai, Asha, Kadak, Atam, verse 25. Pasa, Yalaya, Allah, Ayaham, Pasha, Parawan, Basha, La'a, Tata, Mada, Isupk, Bazaham, Allah, Yaham, Allah, Takwat, Taka, Fan, Tawa, Takwash, Tawa, Kaya, Tawaiba, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Slakia, Alahayaka, Awa'a, verse 26. Wala'a, Tabba, Ya'a, Tawaiba, Al, Wayataka, Waha, Iyata, Karam, Mahawa, Shakwatazar, Asha, what is the word? What is the Nawa? Ata, Aiba, Ata, Aibanawa, Ya, Arab, Awa, Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 1. Ta, Nama, Tazawa, Asha, Anakaya, Matazawaka, Matazawak, Ayawam, Tasha, Barawan, La'ai, Shawak, Tama'aina, Taka, Yawan, Ra, Bayatam, Ama'a, Ama'atam, Aya, Ashatam, Ha'aratasa, Asha, Ashabai, Yahweh, La'a, Batayakam. Right, and then we did it in Hebrew, Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 21. In English, thou shalt not be affrighted at them, for the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty God and terrible. Verse 22. And the Lord thy God will put out those nations before thee by little and little. Thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. Verse 23. But the Lord thy God shall deliver them unto thee, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction, until they be destroyed. Verse 24. And he shall deliver their kings into thine hand, and thou shalt destroy their name from under heaven. There shall be no man be able to stand before thee, until thou have destroyed them. Verse 25. And the graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein. For it is an abomination to the Most High thy power. Verse 26. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it, and shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 1. All the commandments which I command thee this day, ye shall observe to do, that ye may live and multiply, and go in and possess the land which the Lord sware unto your father in the day.
Sincerely, everything that has contributed to what makes us black. If you are not guided by the rules and laws, we won't have different. If you want to keep those things, we have a benefit of the world.
So as I said, this is for everyone. What we want to I want to write 1 second, right? I'll be there for about this. Right, slack, right? So, with regards to this source, should just saying something as well too in Deuteronomy 7, right? We know in it. We were supposed to, at that time, it gave me God the command, right? Saul disobeyed God. Inside of Saul, Saul had some form of we call this thing which is supposed to have. It's not envy. It's covetousness. Saul had some sort of covetousness the way he coveted some of the things that he did because if you have no use or no bad or no desire, you just destroy it. Right? No problem. You ready? No problem. No problem. The Lord say, "Hey, I no person. She buy no man. Shut up. We don't want something. No, if you I want to be wearing your tower designs. Understand? You PKFL way. Understand? That's who you want to be wearing. We're supposed to know. We're supposed to know Versace and these LGBTQ men and then. And now people only recognize it, they only want to listen to you if you're driving a Benz. Supposed to be your car. I drive a car, but you talking about, but you could touch this. I drive a car, but this is a car designed by car watches, car switches. I have collections by, I drive a Yamaha, you understand? Yamaha building designs by, you understand? They talking about, I drive a Hyman, you understand? Because where my Hyman things by, you talking, are you supposed to, are you supposed to know? But this garbage and these people and everything, everything is stealing from us. Everything was so good. Why you want to clear up away the fringes and everyone on the guard? Why don't you turn on market price? And it look at all these still because you never touch one way to sweet as well. When the gears and them seaweed, and I like to say about it. And them gears and them seaweed, look at fresh thing, you understand? Boom. Now get away. Yeah, they want to know who is there away. I want to touch it down. It look very nice. Yeah. That we can check. Flavor, Lord save is the soul of the word. A city set on a head by cannot be held.
That's right.
Everybody want to take something. While they're supposed to know the point we stuck on in. They're supposed to know they're supposed to be alive. Playing them.
Just as I was saying there, this is where black responsibility have to be true.
Correct.
Because we don't know our identity, this is where we lost the flavor of it. And trying to put on what the other, the clothes or the leaves of the other nation. And that's why you were born to Chinese this, use this, their clothes.
Yeah, I don't get a shit. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
You're trying to search for something.
Yes.
You know, deep inside of this there. But you're looking for it in the wrong place. I want to understand, okay, this culture here is mine.
Right.
This is where you can be able to fully be able to express
Right.
and be yourself. Because nobody said, okay, don't be Chinese, don't be East Indian, don't be this. You be who you are.
Yes, correct.
Be where you come from.
Be
Be your nationality. So when I'm being black,
don't end that. That's right.
don't hold me back.
Right.
You be you, let us be. We are supposed to be. Let me believe in the gods that we believe. Let me believe in the rules that we believe. And do not come up against, because this society is so, you understand, so diabolical, right? You will have all these other nations being able to gather,
Yes.
express
Listen.
themselves,
Yes.
be proud.
Are we there?
Any Irish proud?
Yes.
Understand?
Correct.
The Italians are proud.
Yes.
They're proud of who they are and their culture.
Right.
The Chinese are proud.
As they should be.
Africans are proud.
Right.
East Indians are proud.
Right.
So-called oppressors. Look today, the so-called.
You're right, yeah. Big holiday. Yes.
They are proud of their
Right.
culture.
Yes.
But what people have to understand, their culture is flawed, destruction, pillage, murder,
Abuse.
raping,
Yeah.
abuse,
Correct.
slavery.
Correct.
150 years plus
Correct.
of that.
Correct.
And that is from since the 13th, 14th century, I mean from ancient times. We saw. Come right, you're seeing that this is their culture. Because this is their culture, you can see they are proud of their culture.
Right.
And they're going to celebrate how proud they are.
Right.
We as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are understand that this is not our nature.
Is it correct?
Because today is what? Their day.
Correct.
We are not supposed to be celebrating with them because what? If we do that, then we celebrate in the destruction.
Correct. Is it correct? Is right. And that time when they were celebrating thing, when we was in the fields,
That's right.
when they and before that when they touched down here, the native Indians, which we are still a kind people, they take advantage of we and almost wipe me out. Genocide almost genocide me out. Come on, you understand? So hey, when they celebrated, understand something. These people and them is directly against you. They celebrated today. They don't feel no type of way about almost wiping you out, about cutting open your women and them bellies and feeding the bellies and the fetus.
That's what
They feel no type of way. They're proud, eh? They're proud, they understand to be that way. Well, you want, don't let nobody make you feel some type of way about taking your culture back. About looking fresh and being fly, being the most intelligent, being the most good looking. Black people don't age. A little boy man died this thing you would have seen that hit man on we the other day. That's it. Yeah, one month I was that young kid lucky. Actually, you got to watch it. I was like, I just want you old man and now that's 2 years. Me why you will let this mind yes. Correct. That's right. One more. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 2. In Hebrew, right? Wazah, Garak, Kal, Adarak, Ashar, Awallah, Yakaka, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Zahar, Arabayim, Shana, Bama, Taba, Lama Aina, Taka, Dana, Sataka, Tadaaita, Ashar, Allah, Tabaka, Ata, Shema, Madazah, Watawa, Amma, La'a, the street, Waya, Ainak, Waya, Ra'ai Baka, Waya, Akalak, Amana, Asha, La'a, Yada Aita, Wala'a, Yada Aiwana, Abata, Yaka, Ama'aina, Awada, Ya'aika, Kaya, La'a, Ai, Alakam, Tabadawa, Yakaya, La'a, Dema, it's like Adam, Kaya, Ai, Ka, Mawatsa, Mawatsa'a, Kaya, Yahweh, Yakaya, Adam, is 4. Shema, Tapata, Ta'a, Allah, Ta, Alata, Silake, Malata, Ma'ai, Layaka, Wara, Galak, La'a, Badaza, Zakwa, Saha, Ara'ai, Silake, Arabai, Ayam, Shana, was 5. Waya, Aita, Ai, Abubakar, Kaya, Asha, Kaya, Yasa, Ayash, Banawa, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Aya, Sarak, 6. Asha, Barak, Matazawa, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Lalakit, Kata, Bada, Bakawaya, Bakawara, Yawa, Allah, Yara'aha, Atawa, Usaman, Kaya, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Babaya, Aka, Al, Aratisa, Tawaba, Aratisa, Natalaya, Mayam, Ayana, Mata, Amat, Yatazaaya, Baba, Ba'aiha, Baha, Estate, Aratisa, Kata, Washa Ra, Wakapon, Wata, Ana, Ara, Awan, Aratasa, Dayata, Shamana. Yeah, another seed. But the Bash, right? Another seed in Hebrew, in English. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 2. Right? And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. Verse 3. And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord doeth man live. Verse 4. Thy raiment wax not old upon thee, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. Verse 5. Thou shalt also consider in thine heart that as a man chasteneth his son, so the Lord thy God chasteneth thee. Verse 6. Therefore, thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to fear him. Verse 7. For the Lord thy God bringeth thee into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring out of valleys and hills. Verse 8. A land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of oil, olive and honey, and the reading it.
So again, these, when you read it, I get to understand, saying, thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to what? To humble thee, to prove thee, to know what was in thy heart, whether thou wouldst keep his commandments or not. Understand? God had to what? Two blacks his promise and the women. He said, oh, you know, we made this promise, we're going to the promise of God. This is what I need to do. I need to prove these things. To prove by your thoughts, by your actions, by your deeds. So, and through this now, then you can say that, yeah.
Solid, very solid. All that garbage plus all the mind.
Yeah, remember, when they came out of Egypt, they're still at Egypt.
Correct.
Culture, mindset, you name it. Correct. All these things, just like a society here now. Understand? When you come into the Isupk, as they say, I was in the world. Correct. You have all these things of the world embedded deep within. And it takes that time and a process of what those things are fresh.
Correct. Correct.
We have to go to what get clean. That's why you know in the Isupk, we have rules and laws in here to guide that process.
Correct.
All blacks is we go to what? As we say, a purge.
Sure. Yeah. First start. Correct. Fresh. Clean slate. Correct.
See.
Correct.
So, when you get a clean slate, you're supposed to do what? Maintain.
Yeah. So take it because they don't see what it was before. I mean, right. So again, but we show you about the right. So that's Spanish. I need to be understand it. As the Lord say, understand, you have to get clean. It's the same process you have to take because you will have, as Christ say, you cannot put, you understand, we call it a new piece of garment on an old piece of clothes. It then goes, neither you can put, you understand, new wine into old wine skin because it costs. So you have to, you understand, you have to become, or you have to change, you understand, your ways and you have to flush out. So there is, it's not like, you know, you can just jump in here and then say, well, boy, all right, you know, I become brand new, in my mind, and deceiving myself because the scripture will know that too. Because, you know what I mean? Say, by your heart deceitful and we actually, you don't understand what you should be doing, how you should be operating, what you should be thinking. So you have to take that process at time, as the officer was now saying it at your job. Right? If you're rid of them old things in them, that you're taught towards things to do. Right? So every man and woman have to go through that process to be able to really and truly function at capacity or how you're supposed to really and truly live. Right? So though what we are feeling, you know what I mean, we just try to stop the fall now. We try to, you know what I mean, make all it. Do something, we really and truly trying to make sure okay, the best possible shape and form that you should be in. And that those stuff, as the officer was saying, that you have to continue, you're supposed to keep it. You're supposed to continue to build on it. Right? So that now you ain't gonna regress, because when you start to build up good habits, start to build up good structure, start to build up things that I don't think the scripture saying. Now we follow it's only forward. And now people will see that it's possible. That's why commandment generally is absolutely understand and understand that Christ. Because that is not an easy thing to do. When everybody was saying it couldn't be done, and everybody was afraid to make that step, people still afraid. But the man walked the pathway to learn that it was possible. Same thing with Christ. Christ was a man that walked the earth and knew. And that's why the heathens just try to push this narrative or this lie, the white lie, and those things to try to obscure your ability to understand that, hey, it's possible for a human being to perfect. That talk, and that thought that everybody talking about, but we are nobody perfect, that is absolute garbage. Yeah. You have that, you don't even have the understanding of what perfection is. You think imperfection is that everybody come out and they know stuff like maybe they just get up and walk. It's come on the woman, he's talk, you understand? That is not what perfection talking about. Perfection meaning you follow that you have understanding of how to work and how to operate. It's like a car, when it come out of the factory, when it come out, the proper way it's supposed to work, and we say, hey, she's sweet, she's perfect, and they're not perfect. So the context is what you're missing, and now they don't have you in that state because they know that in themselves there's a lot of folly. In the sense of their objective is not to be perfect. So they want you operating that same way to be. So remember, if you're not operating that way, or you're not operating perfect the way you should be operating, then they will never get the judgment and the punishment is supposed to get. And they know this as well. That is why they fighting against. If that wasn't the case, if this was not big of this wasn't something they follow that was not existent, and we just talking out of the backside, then they would not fight against it. Then they would have no problem with you having a birth people saying, I am Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, I am Israelite from the tribe of Judah, I am Israelite from the tribe of Asher. If I say this, you'll have to come, you understand? They wouldn't have a problem with it. But because that is something you follow that they fear, that means they follow that they need to be corrected and they don't like this bad children, they don't want to get no correction, they don't want to get licks for anything, they just want to continue to do things. But some of them TV shows they talk about, and there's a statement in the community, may we never get what we deserve. They know they deserve punishment, they know they deserve to get their backside washed properly. They get good cut skin to be in slavery. They know they need that because there's absolute peace. So just understand the influence on the earth. Continue to tune into these classes and then find the nearest Isupk near to you. You understand? And don't worry, you're going to continue for it to come out. That's the way it is because we know that the earth needs this more than anything else. Shall I?
That brings us to the end of the Sabbath service with margin, which means to stand.
Yeah.
So, La Yashala, which means to Israel. So, yeah. Men of Israel, you know they learn to salute the Torah. So, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Yah.
Yeah.
say Martin when you're conjunction, right? Facing east, south. It's a turn. See, Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Manawa. What's Prayer in Hebrew? Yeah. Manawa. Shabbat Dash. Ya. Shaka. How. Afka. Zak. Ya. Sha. Ras. Wa. Ya. Shemaya. Son. Wa. Lakum. Ha. Wum. Salam. Salam. Now, one, Shine, Yun, Ra, Ya, Ka, La, Al, Ra, Gummy, English said, our Father, try to help, I need, I cannot come, I will be done, in free, in heaven, today, for daily bread, give us, debts, we forgive, debts, it's not into temptation, deliver us, evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. We say, power, by Hashem, our Shah, our Shah, coming out, right, halfway, mafia, Arakawa, Allah, Shun, English, Lord, the name of your shop. Please give us a call. To eat, all models, disease, or because the left or there is a dead, or there is a dead, or these unclean spirits. Because the home is the name of your shop. Thank you. So be it. So be it. May you bless Israel. Our Hashem, our Shah. Now, English, Lord, in the name of your Shah, bless us and Israel and the school, in the name of your Shah, thank you. So be it. So be it. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew, Masha'ah, Yam, Hari, is a Yah, I am, our, Aisha, Yam, Rights, God, Alim, Mark, Na, Yasun, Mark, Arya, Yum, in English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills. Whence cometh my help? From the Lord, which made heaven and earth. And that's how I put to the moon. They keep it deep, they keep it but slumber. Go, they keep it Israel. I ask my mom, what is thy keeper? What is thy shield? On thy right hand. Sun shall not smite thee by day, or the moon by night. Thou shalt preserve thee, all evil. Preserve thy soul. Thou shalt preserve thy going out, thy going thy coming in, the step forward, even for him. The Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Allah, Allah, English. I mean, tree. Keep not silent to go. Go not like peace. Be not still, O God. Do enemies make it tomorrow. They are hate thee. Counsel. Gaze at. Insulted. Is a hidden. Set. Come. Innovation. The name of Israel. You don't want to remember. You have something 1%. Blessed be your house. King of heaven, all things living. Power. Name of your thus now. Right now. Evils and curses. Punishment and destruction and healing. Speak against us. Teachers, the priests, the priests, Israelite brothers, the school, evils and curses, punishment and destruction, the heathen, shall loose treasure, which of Israel, the priest to give to the streets to give was the riches, evils and curses, punishment and destruction, the heathen, the nation, the drug, the forces, the prisons, Planned Parenthood, all of the ones over him, church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, theology, religion, alien, skinheads, Matazes, the lesbian, spies, because of which people, therefore, we also intimate, and bring the spirit, any of that, all the heathen, all the way, stop casting your weavers, that root all the place, all of them to go to and fro, chewing good, the place, of the feet, and the way, the Micah, Gabriel, Dom with the flying saucers, all the healing, but it's all the healing was against has the super you know my core is the spiritual meaning and the shape that I come in the shape the name of emotion. So 22. Yeah. This concludes today's Sabbath service. We will do that 56 week. And it's back. Adam, rock. How about Shimmy Shan at the top? That's so